Yes! 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 Finally, after days of waiting and anticipation, high anticipation, finally I can do this review. I've been wanting to do it since last Friday, folks. And as I told you, on October 9th, John's birthday, not only did we get the ultimate remixes, John Lennon, Give Me Some Truth, but I told you about this. JEM Records celebrates John Lennon. A great tribute album, probably, now that I've taken it all in and listened to this thing a ton, one of the best tribute albums to the Beatles or solo Beatles I have ever heard. Yes, folks. Now I got the CD and I've got it cranking in the background. I don't care. I'm going to yell, I'll scream, whatever you want me to do so you can hear me. I'll get right in your face or I'll back up, whatever you want. But I've got it playing in the background. This thing has been on non-stop for me. Folks, JEM Records celebrates John Lennon. I got the CD on the day of release. Excuse me. Oh man, getting excited here. Whew. I got this on the day of the release, the CD. And I could have done the review then because I listened to this thing over and over again. But I said, no, I want to wait. There's a special limited edition red vinyl I told you about. And I said, until I get that red vinyl in, I want to do this review properly. I want to show everything. So, the CD's cranking. I can't show the CD. Here's the front of the cover. Beautiful cover with that great artwork sketched by Al Hirschfield, the great Al Hirschfield, who did drawings for the New York Times, and he did so many other wonderful publications. And I think there's only been, from what I understand, I've read a lot of interviews with the people at JEM Records and the artists involved. I think his drawings were only on like 2 or 3 album covers over history. The one I am very familiar with is Draw the Line by Aerosmith. One of his drawings is on that album cover. But here's another one with John at home in New York City, done by Al Hirschfield. Here's the back of the CD. Folks, this is unbelievable. Talks about every artist and every track on the album. And folks, let me give you some history. Before I do the creme de la creme and show you the beautiful cherry red vinyl, you're not going to believe this thing. And let me tell you right off the top, go right now, put this on pause. I am hearing that the red vinyl limited edition is almost sold out as of this date. I'm doing this on Wednesday, the 14th of October. It's almost sold out, folks. So if you want the beautiful red limited edition vinyl of JEM Records celebrates John Lennon, go get it now. Come right back to me. I'll wait. Pause. Okay, they should be back by now. Okay, you back? Okay, in early spring, JEM Records president Marty Scott was driving around somewhere. I've been listening to stuff on the internet. I've been reading interviews. He was driving around and he heard a John Lennon song and it touched him. It touched him deep in his soul and in his heart and in his mind. And he said, something must be done. John's 80th birthday celebration is coming up. He's been tragically gone almost as long as he was with us. He just felt the significance of that John was 40 when he left us and now he would have been turning 80. Marty Scott felt something important had to be done. So he said he wanted to do something that had never been done before. He wanted to do a label-related release. Not just reaching out to one of his artists on JEM Records and saying, hey, do a tribute to John. He wanted it to be a label-wide effort. And that's what he did. He reached out to all the artists on the JEM Records label, and every one of them jumped on board and said, we want to do it. We want to be part of this important milestone. So they all selected songs. And what I love about this recording, folks, is they didn't all pick common, everyday top hits of John's with the Beatles or solo. Yeah, you got a couple of well-known songs on here, but you got a lot of nuggets, folks. These people really knocked it out of the park with this, with the song selection. Great selection of tunes. So they jumped on board, they all did their own individual thing, they all went off and recorded in their own home studios or whatever they like to do. And a couple of the bands who were in the greater New York, New Jersey area did many of these songs at the House of Vibes studio. Now you might be saying, what's House of Vibes studio? Well, Kurt Ryle from the Gripweeds owns and operates House of Vibes Studio. So if you're a fan of the Gripweeds and know all about them, and if you watch my channel, you should, he was the organizer. Basically, Marty Scott went to him and said, organize this. Be the glue that pulls it all together, Kurt. And he did so in outstanding fashion. So, they pulled it all together. I think it was recorded over the late spring, June, around June-ish or so. And from what I understand, all the artists had to have their songs in by the end of July. Basically, Marty Scott said, get them done, do it right. Kurt will pull it all together and have it all ready to go by the end of July, by July 31st, because there's so much you have to do with pulling something together, doing the artwork, and getting an album release. And he knew he wanted it out on John's birthday. And hats off to Marty Scott for wanting to do that, to make this a special birthday release. And they did it, folks. They absolutely did it, and they did it in fabulous fashion. Now, what I'm going to do is say, by the order, I'll give you, okay, all right, I'm sorry, I've been holding back. Here is the vinyl, just came in for me late yesterday, folks. Look at this beautiful 12-inch package here, okay? Nice hype sticker, look at that great hype sticker on there. Limited edition red vinyl, as played by Chris Carter on Sirius XM's Breakfast with the Beatles. Well, yeah, Breakfast with the Beatles. That's a collectible hype sticker right there, folks. Look at that. With the Hirschfield drawing in all its glory. All the JEM artists listed. Look at the back. Beautiful design with the red, white, and black. I love it. And so they picked the perfect color for the vinyl itself. And here it is. Oh my goodness. Sweet cherry red wine. Candy apple red, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'll call it candy apple red. You know, it's like a candy apple. You can munch on it. You know, so tasty and sweet, and it is tasty and sweet. What a tasty and sweet recording this is. And just so for those of you wondering, what does the CD label look like? It looks pretty much just like this, folks. Similar to this, but I have it playing right now. I can't show you. But look at that beautiful limited edition. Red vinyl, JEM Records, celebrates John Lennon. And folks, you can't beat it. You cannot beat it. Oh, wrong way. Get the CD, get the limited edition red vinyl. Just get it. Get something. Do it now. And I'm going to hold this up while I talk about the album a little bit. I'll go through each artist by order of appearance on the album. So the album kicks off with the Weaklings, okay? And they do The Word and What's the New Mary Jane. Wow. I mean, can you think of some more cooler kind of deep tracks on Beatle albums than that? The Word, one of my favorite songs on Rubber Soul. Who would have thunk it that somebody would do a cover of The Word? And folks, they do it justice. They do it justice, let me tell you. It has a coolish kind of Bo Diddley beat to it. Kind of reminds me a little bit of, if you've ever heard the song Desire by U2 off their Rattle and Hum album. I mean, it's not exactly like that, but I'm saying, I'm trying to give you some examples of what the flavor of it is. So it's kind of a Bo Diddley beat like that, okay? A little bit in that Desire style from U2. Very modern sounding, and it sounds sweet. It sounds great. And that's the other thing I love about this album, folks. I'm glad the artist didn't try to do note-for-note versions of the Beatles or Lennon solo tracks. Why make it note-for-note? Well, we could just go listen to the Beatle version. We want something new, fresh, exciting, something to perk up our ears, to get new people out there to be turned on to the music of John Lennon and the Beatles. And that's what they've done, folks. These artists have done a great job with the arrangements and the way they perform the tracks. Okay, so the Weaklings do The Word, and they do What's the New Mary Jane, which closes out the album. And you would think, how can they do What's the New Mary Jane? That song was a bunch of garbage, a throwaway, you know, on the Beatles version of that. It was just basically John noodling around or whatever. And I say they did it justice, folks. You've got to hear their version of What's the New Mary Jane. fabulous. They really give it a good groove, a good melody. You know, they take the basic melody of the song, but they expand on it and layer it up a little bit, and they make it into a real outstanding song. You can kind of picture this is like something the Beatles might have done with it if they had had the opportunity. So hats off to the Weaklings. The next artist that appears on the album are the Midnight Callers. They're the newest artist signed to the JEM label. You already know my feelings about the Midnight Callers. I've done several videos about them. I love them. Their debut album is coming out on JEM Records in like a week and a half from now on October 23rd. I love them. I think they're going to be a new great band, and they're included on here. And they do a wonderful kind of, it's not really fused together because on the album they're listed separately, but they take John's Child of Nature, one of his Escher demos from the White Album period from India, and they meld it with Jealous Guy, which is what Child of Nature ended up morphing into later on the Imagine album, Jealous Guy. Folks, they do it's a showstopper. You go from the greatness of The Word by the Weaklings, and then you go into this beautiful acoustic-based, multi-harmony layered, almost like a Crosby, Stills and Nash or Beatles-ish kind of background vocals, like three-part harmony, whatever you want to call it. Child of Nature, like a minute of that, and then it goes right into a searing, ballsy, bluesy version of Jealous Guy with a searing guitar solo. Ooh, this guitar solo is to die for in Jealous Guy. And then later in the album, folks, they do a pounding version, a real rave up of It Won't Be Long from With the Beatles. And I love the way it starts. Again, they don't do it note for note. They got this booming drum beat at the beginning of it, just bang, bang, bang. And then the lead vocalist comes in and starts singing the first verse, and then all of a sudden the guitars and bass kick in just beautifully into this power pop laden, electrifying rock and roll tune. Bordering on I don't want to say punk rock because I don't want to scare you, but it's got some cojones, folks. This thing just rocks. You're gonna love it. It Won't Be Long by the Midnight Callers. Then we get the Gripweeds with You Can't Do That, and they do a really cool version. I heard Kurt Ryle talk about this in an interview. They were originally going to try to have Mark Lindsay from Paul Revere and the Raiders sing the lead on it, but due to COVID and what's going on, scheduling, they couldn't get him. But they wanted the arrangement to be kind of like a Paul Revere and the Raiders version of You Can't Do That. And folks, they nailed it. It's beautiful. It's got the spirit of the original, yet it's got that kind of Paul Revere and the Raiders vibe to it, and it just kicks butt, folks. You're going to love it. And then they also take on an awesome version of Strawberry Fields Forever, where each of the band members takes a verse, lead vocal, and that includes Kurt's wife, Kristen, and just beautiful to hear a female's voice singing a verse of Strawberry Fields Forever. It just got me right here, folks. Beautiful, beautiful version of that song. Then we have Jonathan Pushkar, who's fairly new to the JEM label. I think he was the artist signed right before the Midnight Callers. He does a beautiful version of Just Like Starting Over. Then he does a searing version of I Call Your Name, and he really nails it, folks. He knocks it out of the park. Hats off to Jonathan Pushkar. Then we have a UK band, the only band from the United Kingdom on this album that are on the JEM label, the Gold Needles, do No Reply, a really cool version of No Reply that has, again, like the Midnight Callers, It Won't Be Long, has a new intro to it, which the original never had before, and they just kill it, folks. They kill No Reply. I love it, love it, love it. They also do a great mashup, a blending of Hey Bulldog and Cold Turkey. And you might say, I don't know if I want to hear them. Folks, I'm telling you, it's a whole new experience. You've got to hear their version of Hey Bulldog melded with Cold Turkey. You're going to love it. It rocks. It's fabulous. Then we get the great Richard Barone. Remember former from the Bongos? Those of you that know your power pop and rock and roll, you'll know Richard Barone. I do. Great, great artist. And real feather in the cap to see him on the JEM label. Richard Barone does a cool kind of mashup again of Revolution and Power to the People. It doesn't get any better than that, folks. And I was watching the recent Fest for Beatle Fans Virtual Fest live at Daryl's house in tribute of John's 80th birthday, and all the JEM artists played cuts from this album, and the version of Revolution, Power to the People by Richard Barone, and he was backed by the Midnight Callers, killed. Unreal, unfreaking believable, okay? I don't swear on this channel, okay? The family channel, you know. But awesome, Richard Barone. Talent. All these people are talented. And last but not least, the Anderson Council were also featured on that broadcast. Do I Found Out from Plasticona Band. And man, you know that song. That is one of John's searing rockers. The lyrics are intense, the song is intense, and the Anderson Council do it justice. They knock it out, baby. They knock it out. I don't know what else to say. I mean, this album's just got me pumped up, folks. I'm cranking this thing. I'll be cranking this thing for a long time, and I really love this label. JEM Records, you got to give them credit. And you know, and my thing is, I'm hoping JEM Records, because of the wonder of this and the majesty of this album, I am hoping, fingers crossed, come on JEM Records, you got to do some more stuff like this down the road, like once a year or every couple of years. I'm not saying it has to be a John Lennon, but take another artist, do a McCartney celebration, do a George Harrison celebration, do a pick another artist celebration. But JEM, this has got to be a series. Come on, guys and gals over there at JEM. Make this a series. Once a year or every 2 years, we get something from another artist. Whew. Man, I'll be right there, and I'll be promoting it, I'll tell you that. So that's it, folks. I don't want this to go too long, but you need this album. You have to get it. JEM Records celebrates John Lennon. Folks, come on, look at this thing. How can you say no to this? How can you say no to that? You can't. Right, John? You can't say no to that. You can't. It's just too beautiful. Look at me. I'm dancing around and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm all over the place. Folks, you got to get this. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to thank me. You're going to say, Matt, that is one great tribute album. So that's it, folks. Love you all. Bless you all. Appreciate you being here. Thank you to JEM Records. Thank you to all the artists on JEM Records for participating in this under dire circumstances. They made the effort. They stepped up to the plate, and they did what they needed to do in tribute to John, and they did it. Thank you. Thank you. This is an outstanding album, folks. One of my favorites of 2020. And it could be one of my favorites of 2021, too. So that's it, folks. Bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.